Well, hello there, and a huge welcome from Trojan Radio Studios, coming to you live from Cambridge, Nebraska.
That's right. And today is pretty special.
It really is. We're dedicating this whole deep dive, basically throwing an on-air party for Cambridge's very own prodigal son.
The one and only Dave Brown.
Exactly. He's hitting a major milestone, the big 8-0. Happy birthday, Dave.
Happy birthday. And look, what makes this extra special is we've gathered, well, an amazing collection of memories, stories, just heartfelt words from the folks who know him best.
His family, his friends. It's quite a treasure trove.
It really is. So our mission today, we want to paint a picture, a really vivid and loving portrait of Dave Brown, using their words, their memories.
Yeah, straight from the heart. It feels like a real privilege, actually.
Definitely. So where do we start with a life like this?
I think, well, the most natural place has got to be with the love of his life, right? His wife, Glenda.
Absolutely. And reading her words, you just feel the warmth, don't you?
Totally. She talks about the wonderful massages he gives. That sounds like pure love right there.
A real act of care. And his singing, she mentions how much she loves hearing him sing, especially in church.
Yeah, cherishes it. And it's not just the big things, is it?
No, not at all. She mentions these poems he's written just for her.
Wow.
Yeah, really personal stuff. It speaks volumes about their connection, that emotional depth.
It really does. And that thoughtfulness, it seems like it was always there even with their boys, Jeff and Travis, when they were young.
Oh, yeah.
Glenda remembers how Dave used to weave their names into the bedtime stories he told them.
Get out. That's brilliant.
Isn't it? Imagine being a kid, hearing your name in Papa's Adventure.
Totally. And that legacy, it continues, right, with the grandkids.
It does. Kennedy, Carston, Gavin, Lindy, and Cam. Glenda paints his lovely picture of them gathering around, saying, Papa, Papa, read the story.
Oh, that's just melts your heart. It's like this beautiful thread through the generations.
Exactly, a tapestry, like you said. And Glenda also points out his empathy. It's not just surface-level stuff.
No, she says he really feels things deeply for the family. Shares their worries, their joys.
And you can tell it's real partnership. She mentions, how handsome he is and how they're both committed to staying healthy together.
Like a team.
Totally.
Yeah.
And she admires his intelligence, but loves that he shares it considerately. He's not a know-it-all.
Right. Nobody likes that. And she makes it clear he's the opposite, more about lifting others up.
Yeah, empowering people. That seems to be a core part of him.
And that desire to help, especially kids who need extra support, that was his career for 40 years.
40 years. And she says he's still doing it, even now, looking for resources for educators for the family.
That's passion. That's dedication.
It really is. And his commitment runs deep. Glenda shares how devoted he was to his own parents.
Right, especially caring for his mom when she was ill while holding down a full-time job. That's, wow.
That takes serious love and responsibility. And it extends outwards, too, remembering his living aunts with cards and calls.
Those little things mean so much, don't they?
They really do. And spirituality, that's clearly huge for Dave.
Glenda mentions his reading, research, prayer life, leadership in the church.
And his respect for other traditions, too, including her family's, the Schmidts.
That speaks to a real openness, doesn't it? Connecting with people.
Definitely. And on a more personal note, Glenda shares how much she leans on him, especially with her medical condition.
It shows that deep reliance, that unwavering support he gives her. They're each other's rock.
Clearly. And his kindness wasn't just for Glenda. He'd research topics for her dad, Harlan Schmidt, just because Harlan mentioned an interest.
Going the extra mile.
Totally. And get this, he's not a natural dancer, apparently, but he tries ballroom dancing just because Glenda loves it.
Okay, now that's love. That's putting yourself out there.
Isn't it just... And then there's his coaching years.
Yeah.
Soccer, baseball, basketball.
Glenda emphasized his focus wasn't just winning, but creating positive experiences for the kids.
Right. And being there, cheering enthusiastically at the games. A real supporter.
You can feel the love he has for his whole family through her words. Jeff, Travis, their wives, Amanda and Kathleen, the grandkids.
It just radiates. And apparently he's a bit of a chef, too. Likes experimenting.
Seems like it. Always trying new recipes. And, crucial point, he still makes Glenda laugh.
Ah, yes.
The secret ingredient.
Totally. And they travel together, explore new places, adventurous spirits.
And those little things she mentions, offering her his food if she likes it better, kind compliments.
Even watching chick flicks.
Huh. That's dedication. It all builds that picture, doesn't it? His compassion, his curiosity.
What an amazing tribute from Glenda. Just beautiful.
Okay, so now let's shift perspective a bit. Let's hear from the guys who called him Dad, Jeff, and Travis.
Yeah, their words are powerful too. Jeff acknowledges that constant influence the sacrifices Dave and Glenda made.
You can tell it means a lot. He remembers Dave coaching their teams, planning those family vacations around kid stuff.
Always putting them first, that's the vibe.
Exactly. And Jeff says Dave was their biggest cheerleader, but also pushed them to be independent. That's a tough balance for a parent. Sounds like Dave nailed it.
Yeah, Jeff definitely sees him as a role model, wants to be that kind of dad himself.
That's the highest compliment, isn't it? And Travis feels similarly, saying it's hard to even put into words the impact his dad had.
Where does Travis start? Fishing trips?
Yeah, the sand pits. And he points out it wasn't really about catching fish, you know?
It was the time together.
Exactly, just being there. And then all the sports stuff, playing catch, shooting hoops.
He mentions Dave's dedication to pitching practice, those late nights at the gym for basketball.
That's commitment, going above and beyond.
For sure. And there's that Hoop It Up tournament story Travis tells.
Right. Tough crowd, bigger opponents, and Dave's right there, fiercely supporting them.
Standing up for his son and the team. Protective. Loyal.
Totally. And Travis remembers his dad's cheering at all the games. Specific memories, like Northwest basketball, that sixth grade relay.
You could almost hear him on the sidelines. And his coaching wasn't just for his own kids, right?
No, he coached lots of youth teams, focused on fun, making sure every kid felt valued.
That's the kind of coach you remember.
Definitely. And Travis has these great memories of Husker games with Dave and his buddies.
Oh, yeah?
Especially that OUNU game in 2001. Shared passions creating those bonds.
For sure. And it's funny hearing about the attempts to bring culture into Travis's life.
Yeah, Chichen Itza was a hit, apparently. Phantom of the Opera. Maybe not so much.
But you got to appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
And the Christmas caroling at nursing homes, that's lovely.
It really is. And Travis makes a great point about Dave's work ethic.
How it influenced his own career.
Exactly. Seeing that dedication firsthand. And teaching summer school together, those walks with Ricky and Lyle, sounds like special times.
And then Travis just unloads this, montage of memories. It's incredible.
It really is. Just bang, 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 watching sitcoms at the grandparents', learning to skate.
Royals game mishaps, hiking in Colorado, getting lost at Dodger Stadium.
The Dallas Wax Museum, the '94 Huskers championship celebration.
Late night basketball, building stuff at home, boating attempts at Sherman Lake.
Watching Jeff Box speaking Spanish in Cancun, family dinners, watching Breaking Bad.
Movie nights, holding Kennedy for the first time, that emotional moment.
Picking pine cones with Kennedy and Carston. Just everyday life, but so vivid.
It's like a home movie in your head. And he ends by saying he tries to be the kind of dad Dave was.
Again, what a legacy. Just amazing.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. We've got Dave's younger brother, Dale, chiming in.
And Dale comes with a catchphrase.
He does. Hey, it can happen to anybody. You just know these stories are going to be good.
Totally. He starts with learning to skip dance with Dave and their mom.
Which led to him skipping to the school play with Mary Avery, who became homecoming queen.
That's brilliant. Full circle.
And then the classic first grade wet pants incident, every kid's nightmare.
But Dave's response, so kind, it could happen to anybody.
What a great big brother. Then the 13-foot slippery slide with a bread wrapper for speed.
Oh boy. And a dramatic landing, but Dale's reaction, I'm Roy Rogers.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
And learning to ride his bike, the inevitable spill.
And Dave's there again. Hey, it can happen to anybody. Consistent.
His go-to phrase. Then the rattlesnake on the golf course.
Whoa. And Dave takes it out with one swing of his putter?
Yep. And follows up with,
Let me guess. Hey, it can happen to anybody.
You got it. And Dale's description of Dave teaching him tennis. Pitching serves, batting returns.
Sounds creative. Dale admits he never quite got the scoring.
Can't blame him, but you can tell these are cherished memories. And telling Dave and Glenda they were getting married.
And Dave celebrates with creme de menthe and Coke.
Another classic, hey, it can happen to anybody moment. Dale clearly adores his big brother.
You can really feel the affection and the humor. Okay, we also got a peek from Dave's father-in-law, Harlan Schmidt.
Yeah, via Glenda. And Harlan thought the world of Dave. Called him a wonderful son-in-law, a great Christian man.
High praise indeed. And that story from Mexico City.
Oh, the pasture incident. Both of them answering nature's call and surprising each other.
That's some unexpected father-son-in-law bonding right there. Classic.
It really is. Okay, now let's hear from the grandkids themselves. Kennedy, Carston, Gavin, Lindy, and Cam.
Yeah, Carston talks about Papa's humor, how he always shows up for their games.
His funny jokes, his stories, teaching them stuff, and the puppet shows.
Sounds like he connects with them in so many fun ways. Kennedy echoes the humor and those special school rides.
Right, and how his support helped her go to Murray Middle School. That's big.
Really invested. And the younger ones, Gavin, Lindy, Cam, it's simple, isn't it?
Totally. Baba's funny, and they love visiting his house. Pure joy.
That's what it's all about at that age.
Yeah.
Now, Dave's sister-in-law, Janice Schmidt,
She talks about his uplifting spirit, how he encourages people, helps them see their own worth.
that's a wonderful quality. And she remembers Dave calling Charles from Paducah during their Florida move. Sounds like a fun trip memory.
It does. And then we have Dave's daughter-in-law, Kathleen Brown.
And she notices all these wonderful quirks, right?
Yeah. His love for crushed ice, still rocking a tank top at 80, impressive.
His drink choices, supporting local artists, the Elmo impersonation.
Can't forget Elmo. And the imaginative games he plays with her kids.
It paints such a vivid picture. But beyond the quirks, she emphasizes his kindness, his thoughtfulness.
The love he shows her and her family, you can feel her deep appreciation.
Absolutely. And she mentions a road trip to South Beach. Dave, Glenda, Travis, Jeff.
Sounds like it was full of laughter, stories, real family bonding.
And discovering a shared hobby with Dave, people watching.
That's fun. A quiet way to connect.
And Kathleen's really grateful for his consistent support with her kids over the years. Always being there.
That grandparent support is just priceless, isn't it?
Totally invaluable.
No.
Okay, now we're moving into the friends and colleagues. There are quite a few.
Yeah, a whole chorus. Let's start with Angie Adam.
She remembers Dave's ladder acrobatics, sounds intriguing. Or in their friendship, noting her late husband Dave Adam loved golfing with him.
Those shared memories are precious. And Kyle Hesser, former colleague.
He remembers Dave's genuine interest in family, their sports chats, Lions and Braves, and even golfing in a storm.
Brave souls. Kyle clearly respects Dave's family pride and his work with kids.
That professional dedication comes up again. Colleen Street, another colleague.
She remembers him being so supportive when she started out, and later as her school psychologist. Praises his listening skills, calm manner, knowledge.
Sounds like a great mentor figure. Deborah Rosman-Weber from OPS Psych Services adds more color.
Yeah, including the story about Dave walking around for months on a broken hip.
Unbelievable stoicism. And his role organizing the Christmas caroling at nursing homes. Such a caring initiative.
Wow, the broken hip thing is wild. And Melody Pebley, another colleague.
She highlights his kindness and compassion towards parents dealing with educational disabilities, really taking the time to explain things.
That empathy again, it shines through. Laura Ronning calls him the consummate school psychologist.
And remembers him in a tennis tournament and his famous handsome calves routine.
Huh? Sounds like he had a sense of humor at work, too.
Definitely. And Victoria Porter shares that moving story about Dave relocating to Omaha for Glenda's health.
Such a testament to his love and selflessness. She saw those qualities in his work, too.
A powerful example. Now, Brandon Maxon, Travis's friend.
He remembers Dave from their Northwest League teams, fiercely defending his players.
And showing real compassion for a teammate with disabilities, that speaks volumes.
He really does. And Brandon has some hilarious road trip stories, too.
The Denver van breakdown, the awkward car salesman, the Husker Sooner tailgate. Sounds legendary.
Never a dull moment. Brandon's takeaway, Dave's tremendous character and family dedication.
Seeing a pattern here, Nick Price, another childhood friend from Nordic Road.
He remembers Dave being involved in everything sports, church choir.
And that permanent Axis and Allies game on the table, a sign of a welcoming house.
Totally. Nick appreciates Dave's patience, the opportunities he gave the kids.
Then there's Tom Cook, the commish of the WFL Fantasy League.
He playfully talks about Dave's tenacity, his loyalty to Sandy Koufax.
His generosity in the league and how he could take some good-natured teasing. Sounds like a fun friendship.
It does. And Jane Goering, sharing memories for her late husband, Tom.
She recalls Dave in a superhero costume at church picnics and his thoughtful contributions in prayer meetings.
Jane's personal view. Warm, caring, sensitive, intelligent, thoughtful, sweet. His wisdom in their faith group meant a lot.
Lovely words. Arlene Rhea talks about their 30-year friendship.
Dave coaching their sons in soccer, advocating for her job at the church.
And she shares her late husband Jim's memories. Dave's insightful questions, debating politics, Nixon, Reagan, Bush.
Friends with different views, still close, that's respect. What about Hal and Deb Mangan?
Oh, fond memories there. Dave falling asleep in the van after dancing.
Helping understand difficult students practicing dance steps, bike rides in Cocoa Beach.
And his amazing hospitality when they visited Florida. Sounds like great friends.
Definitely. Richard Ross highlights Dave's intelligence, kindness, humor.
Recalls a sports card show and a trivia contest with a unique team name, Goff Husks.
Ha! Always creative. Richard Daly, a lifelong friend from Grand Island.
Shared history, 40th birthday party with a belly dancer, apparently.
Wow. And a St. Augustine bathroom adventure. Plus notes Dave's effectiveness as a student advocate.
A friend through thick and thin, clearly. Gloria Allison, Glenda's cousin.
Remembers reconnecting, her husband Bob enjoying sports chats with Dave, visiting TPC Sawgrass, touring St. Augustine.
Strengthening those family ties. C.C. Meyer from Engelman Elementary has a funny one.
Oh, the old briefcase story, leading to a SWAT team scare.
Apparently. It highlights how respected he was as the school psychologist, though. Quite the tale.
You couldn't make it up. Darren Scheifel remembers Dave watching them play ultimate frisbee.
His impression, political but kind-hearted. Doug and Kathy Tizer.
They commend Dave and Glenda for raising such a thoughtful son in Travis and recall Dave making an effort to connect at reunions.
That consideration again. Tyler Giesbrecht shares Nebraska football game encounters.
Right, the 0-1 OU game. And trivia teams in Jack's Beach. And that thoughtful introduction to his wife, Christine, referencing her name's history.
That's really personal and welcoming. We also heard about his great singing voice.
Church, Buddy Holly, Roy Orbison. And his love for JFK, the Guns of Navarone.
His dedication to working out pumping iron.
And yeah, those infamous food concoctions, multi-meal shakes, green beans with ketchup and tuna.
Okay, those are definitely unique. Adventurous palate, maybe.
Or just weird. But it paints a picture. And finally, a look at the last 10 years.
Still packed. Time with family, grandkids, friendships in Florida concerts, sports, cards, books, golf.
Multiple trips to Europe with Glenda, coaching the grandkids' sports.
He hasn't slowed down much, has he? Living life fully.
Absolutely not. Well, wow. What a journey through these memories.
It's been incredible.
So, from all of us here at Trojan Radio Studios, the global HQ, right here in Cambridge, Nebraska, a massive, huge, heartfelt, happy 80th birthday to Cambridge's own Dave Brown.
Here. Happy birthday, Dave. This deep dive really showed a life built on connection, kindness, and just genuine care. It's been an honor.
It really has. And, it makes you think, doesn't it, about our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
What are those little moments, those acts of kindness or just being present that might become cherished memories for the people around us?
That's a powerful thought. Maybe we can all take a little inspiration from Dave Brown's example.
A beautiful thought to end on. And that wraps up our special birthday celebration deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
From Cambridge, Nebraska, wishing Dave Brown the very best on his 80th, this is Trojan Radio Studios signing off.